Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, I am here with a special guest on the LewisFilms podcast. I haven't done one of these in a while, but we are back. Probably going to go on another hiatus after this, but let's hope not. I want to continue this little streak. But I'm here with a special guest today. If you are on Twitter and if you do, if you are in that kind of like Spider-Man Twitter community, you may have heard of him before. He's known for his TASM ratios.
Yeah, that's my one personality trait, man. It's ratio with TASM.
Yeah, it's my boy Hassan. So, welcome
Yeah.
to the podcast, man. How you doing?
Yeah, thank you for having me.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Yeah, I just today's been very tiring, but yeah, it's going good. What about you?
I'm good, thanks, man. I'm good. But that's good. So today, yeah, we're just going to talk about a few things that you're doing actually right now. You're very active. We're going to talk a little bit about Spider-Man, obviously, because that's quite a hot topic. But I think one thing is like you can go through Twitter or whatever and you can search up all our opinions and stuff about stuff like that. But like one thing I'm more interested in, and I'm guessing there's people who are interested in your stuff as well, if they're watching this, they'll be more interested in maybe as well, is your short films that you're doing. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
So first of all, like what got you into filmmaking? Like what was the driving force to make you want to make films? I feel like this is a generic question, but like
it's not a generic. It's actually a very interesting question because there's like, this is probably the weirdest thing and probably the most like, it's just such a weird thing to get you into filmmaking, and it was from Minecraft Lite on my iPhone, right?
Oh, really?
It makes no sense, but the thing is, right? So, Minecraft has always been this like popular game. I got into it because of my cousins. Because of that, I got more into like Minecraft like stories and like animation and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, why not make a Minecraft film? Because that sounds like an incredible idea. So I went ahead, did some like got into animation, got into like Minecraft animation and things like that, and it was just like I made a film and I was like, this actually is very fun, creating stories and like, you know, exploring different things. Why not do it for like in real life? Because I also love films in real life, so why not make a film? So I gathered some of my friends, and it's always been like this big idea where we want to make a film. And we've done that like a few times, but like mainly all of them have gone unsuccessful. But yeah, that's basically how I started.
It's funny that you mentioned that, is because I make I make Minecraft films sometimes as well.
Yeah.
Like Minecraft's such a fun game to like mess around with. You can do a lot on there, and especially when you don't have especially nowadays anyway, because like we don't really have the resources to like make big blockbuster films, and Minecraft is like it's free. Like, well, it's not free, but like you can do whatever you want in it. And also now with like Corona and stuff, it's like you can't really go out and get actors to do anything. So like I mean that's funny that you mentioned that, because same. But yeah, no.
Yeah, it's a very expressive game. Like, it's basically the main intent of it is creativity, and literally you could do anything in that, like anything, and it could turn into so many like pathways for you, and it's just great.
Literally, it's so good.
Yeah.
But speaking of like filmmaking and like your short film, is you released one called The Globe.
The
Globe. And I thought that was really cool, because at first I was like, okay, I don't know what this is about. But then like as you slowly as the story goes on, you like start to see what you're trying to say. It's like about saving the world, and I thought that was a really cool message. Cool message. So yeah, did you just make that in lockdown? Did you just have that idea? Like, how did that come up?
Yeah. So it's a very ideas can literally generate from anything, and it's like so I was just in a car driving past this lake, and I thought, what would happen if like there was this like earth, like I was just looking at nature and things like that, and like what would happen if you had that but the Earth was like a toy globe or something, and someone would like paint it, and it would like make like, you know, trees or water or anything. That idea like started generating more and more into like, well, what if you had a globe that could travel through time? What if you had a globe that like could like, that is basically our world, and whatever you do to it affects our world? Like, I thought that was an interesting idea. I was thinking, well, we're in lockdown right now, and what would be like this intimate story we can tell, but also have the viewers thinking about, you know, situations right now, and, you know, like getting them to do more and to express like what the planet is becoming. Basically, that was the whole point of the globe. But yeah, that's it.
Oh, that's really cool, because I really did enjoy. I enjoyed that short film. I thought it was very expressive for the time. I thought it was very good, which is why I'm excited to see your next one, which you did put out a little teaser for.
Yeah.
Which is it's called Depths of Time. And,
Depths of Time, yeah.
But what? Okay, I don't know if you want to talk about it, but like, what is it about? Yeah. What is it about? Like, could you give us like a plot or a synopsis?
Yeah, I could actually give you a lot. So it's a very it's a full, like, when creating the story, I was thinking it needs to be very, like, I want this sci-fi huge, like, you know, very like up step from the globe to make it be like big and like very ambitious and something like that. But I was thinking, what's like this most simple way you could like, not simple, I guess. What's the most challenging way you could do that? Which is why I decided, right, I'll make this huge, ambitious, big sci-fi movie with only one person, which is myself, and also using an iPhone.
Damn.
Because yeah, no, I really want it, because like there's been a lot of people who've come up to me and asked, like, you know, I can't go out and record because I don't have a camera, or I don't have this specific gear, or like I don't have anybody to record. So that really got me thinking, because what is the best you can do with just yourself and a phone camera, basically? I mean, I'm not saying Depths of Time will be the best. I'm just saying what's the best I can do with that. So
like a challenge.
Yeah, challenge basically. Yeah. Also, yeah, lockdown is also like hugely in my favor, because, you know, the streets are empty, you know, everything's empty, and it could really like use this very like what was I gonna say, like post-apocalyptic world-esque type vibe. But yeah, so the story is about this man who's in a post-apocalyptic world. There was this tragic event that happened to him 3 years prior, that caused like nobody to be living in this world, basically. He thinks he's the only person alive in the world, but he's not. He's trying to find other life. That's basically the whole story. Yeah, it's gonna tackle themes like loneliness and abandonment and just like tragedy, basically, and what that and grief, like, you know. I wanted to really explore that, and that really helps that I'm doing it alone, because that adds to like the loneliness vibe. But yeah, that's basically the story.
Yeah, that's really cool, and it's cool that you're doing it on your own as well, because like the way I'd see it is like, if everything is you, it feels like 100% you.
Yeah,
it's like you're alone,
exactly.
And that gives that vibe. Yeah, I like that. That's cool. I really enjoyed the teaser as well. I thought some of those shots were
thank you.
Some of those shots were
thank you.
Honestly, now with the one that pops into my head, what was it? It was one where you were, I think it was like a medium, and it was this road, and it was just blue fog, and you were just standing there like away from I was like, alright, my man's going for it.
Yeah, with that, it's weird, because we don't have any like, we have fog weather, but it rarely happens. So I really wanted this foggy like wasteland vibe, and I had no idea how to do it. That whole shot is done with VFX. And like the whole
really?
fog was the whole fog thing was VFX, and so it was very challenging, but I wanted to really push the limits on what you can do.
Yeah, I mean, I've noticed you're really good at VFX anyway, because
Thank you.
your TASM essay, there was like a lot of cool like little edits in there. I thought that was sick.
Yeah.
But you recorded all that on your phone.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, on my phone. Yeah.
Jeez.
I think though phones are really severely underrated, as in like people don't really understand the capabilities it can hold. Basically, it doesn't have a great sensor, it doesn't have great low light, doesn't have great depth of field or whatever, but it can still produce amazing image qualities, and it all matters on the camera, the composition, the color grading, just like things like that, right? I'd say to anyone, record with what you have, because it doesn't really matter about getting the next expensive camera or getting the next big gear thing. It really doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, because I mean, when you get into filmmaking, like you kind of demotivate yourself when you think, okay, I need those big cameras and stuff, and like,
exactly.
all that. It's like
exactly.
You just have your phone, you can use your phone. Like
exactly.
Man, that's good. So are you still filming it, or are you like in post? Are you editing it right now?
We're still. I'm thinking. I didn't give a specific date because I have exams going on right now, and I don't really know when we're gonna finish. But I think we're gonna continue filming during summer, which is ages away, by the way. But I think to create this like loneliness and this like passage of time, I need like different seasons, which is why we have some snow in there, which is why we have some, and then we've got the summer vibe stuff going on. I really wanted to like space it out.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And it is about time, so I mean.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, it makes sense. No, I'm excited for that, man. I can't wait for that to come out. I'll definitely watch that. Yeah, no,
Thank you.
Yeah, you got potential, man. You really do.
Thank you.
I love the globe, but
means a lot.
But yeah, no, I'm excited to see what you do in the future and stuff with all that. Will there be another trailer? I'm guessing there might be.
Yeah,
maybe?
There will be. There will, closer to the release date. Like we'll have a trailer that like proper like gives a release date and also gives more of what the story is. I think it's hard though, because this story is very like, I wouldn't say dialogue heavy, because it has no like characters talking to one another. The whole story is a structure of like a letter. So it's this whole huge monologue basically, and whatever the character is saying is what's being shown.
Oh, really?
I think that's how I was planning on making it. I think it'd be hard translating that in trailer form. I think I'll probably make another trailer. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's cool then. All right, well, that's really cool. I'm glad we talked about your films, because it's something that's like, it's always something you're very passionate about, and I wanted to get behind why. It's a very interesting part of like your YouTube. You're going to be posting a lot of short films, and like hopefully it goes well for you in the future. Like,
thank you.
Yeah, but let's get on to a spicy topic.
Yeah.
Oh god, here we go. So you are known for being you love TASM, right? Okay,
yeah,
we know this.
Yeah.
We know this. People know this. People know you love TASM. That's cool and all. Andrew's your favorite Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
And you have, by the way, guys, if you haven't seen the video essay that I talked about earlier in the video, I'll leave a link to it in the description below. I highly recommend you check it out. It's it goes into detail about the ins and outs of TASM and why it's a good movie, and things that people are missing, which I thought was really cool. But so apart from Andrew Garfield, we have Tom Holland and we have Tobey Maguire, right?
Yeah.
If you were to take Andrew out of the equation, Tom or Tobey, and why? Tom or Tobey?
This is actually I would lean towards Toby. I'm not hating Tom, by the way. Tom, I think he's brilliant in the role. He has this charisma. He's basically a very accurate version of Spider-Man and has this charisma and, like, you know, things like that. Toby, I think, is way more... I don't want to sound like the normal, like, you know, critical type, you know, sort of person, but Toby is much more human, in my opinion, and it feels much more authentic and intimate with his stories, and it's like not as much Spider-Man and more focused on Peter Parker, which I adore. So yeah, I'd say Toby.
Yeah. Okay, I will agree with you on that one. By the way, I asked this question to anyone who comes on the channel or whoever I do a video with. I always ask this question because I think it's interesting because I get different points of view every single time. I get like someone will say, maybe for example, if I just ask someone like say Toby or Tom, and someone goes Tom, and then they'll say, well, maybe because he's the most accurate, or maybe because they love the whole Iron Man connection, or maybe because it's the MCU or whatever, and like that's cool. Toby is for like completely different reasons. One thing I think though I see a lot when people say Toby, including myself, is when people say Toby, they say it's because he is more human. He has more emotion. He carries more of that.
Yeah, more mature.
Yeah. Like you said, he's more intimate. His character's more intimate than Tom's is. I feel like, I want to get your thoughts on this as well. I feel like Tom is going to be like that, just not yet, because he's in the MCU. He's got like this. He's got like at least another 10 years. He's gonna be doing this till he's like 30. So, like, I think we're gonna get to that point. I just think his character's building up to that.
Yeah, that's very interesting, actually. Well, what you said, when you get like with everyone's interpretation, basically, that's all it is your interpretation, your viewing, your opinion of these characters. They can bring so much joy and so much like relatability. Something about relatability is that there's not just one specific thing that's relatable to everyone. There's like many, like Tom's can be relatable to you and not be relatable to someone else, you know. But I think it's very interesting with interpretations, and like I it's sad to see like people hate each other for like having their own opinion and their own judgment. But yeah, Tom, I think I say Toby's more immature. I meant more mature. But Tom is a teenager, right? His immaturity is like the thing that's that makes him learn. You know, consequences happen from his immaturity, and he learns from that. I think with time he'll start becoming more mature and start becoming, you know, a better overall person. I think that there's a huge, like, there is an age gap between Tom and Toby's interpretation, so that has something to play a part in. But yeah, Tom is 100% gonna start becoming like Toby basically with time. Not becoming like Toby, but more like that human intimacy.
Yeah, he's like more that, reaching that level.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because one of the main things I see about like a criticism of Tom's Spider-Man, and this is nothing bad saying like, oh, if you like Tom Spider-Man, you can like Tom Spider-Man if you want, but one thing, like when comparing Tom to Andrew and Toby, one thing that sets Tom apart, and a lot of the reason to why people who like Andrew and Toby don't really like Tom as much, one of the criticisms they have, and now like I said, this isn't a problem if you like Tom's Spider-Man, but they say that because Peter Parker is like he's a traumatic character in a way, and it's like Toby and Andrew have all this, and I think it's funny that I bring this up because you mentioned in your Tasman video, say Andrew goes through so much in just one film. What did you say? He loses his parents, Aunt May's trust, his second father figure, Dr. Connors, Captain Stacy, and then effectively loses Gwen at the end of the movie. I mean, we'll get into, I mean, not in TASM 2, but we'll get into that. But Toby, Uncle Ben, Uncle Ben, he loses Norman Osborn. His relationship with Harry starts to deteriorate with MJ. He then pushes MJ away at the end. So it's like they lose all so much, and then Tom doesn't. But I feel like because of his oh wait, go on. Sorry, I'll continue my point afterwards. But yeah,
wait, no, it's fine. No, continue.
No, I was just gonna say that like over time, I think Tom will have that level.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
I think Tom, I think the reason why people connect with Tom more is that they hate seeing their characters lose so much. And with Toby and Andrew, it's all about like losing a lot and getting everything taken from you. With Tom, it's much more like uplifting, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think with time, seeing Peter Parker like not win so much, but like be, I'd say, happy and not lose as much is something that is going to progress through time and going to deteriorate. Like, you know, he's going to lose some more. I mean, the biggest thing is that at the end of Far From Home, he has a secret identity blown out there, and he's going to lose a lot more from that. So we're slowly watching the fall of his, you know, whole like happiness and uplifting or something. Yeah,
we're gonna start to see that slowly get ripped from him. I mean, it makes sense because in the comics they don't. I hate to compare the movies to the comics because they're like different things. Like but in the comics they don't. It's like everything that happens in TASM 1 doesn't happen to one like a couple of issues to Peter in the Spider-Man comics. It happens over about 20-30 issues. Like Uncle Ben doesn't die and then 2 issues later Captain Stacy dies. Like that doesn't happen. So it's like I feel like with the MCU being more slow and more progressive, I feel like that kind of
exactly.
It's gonna come. It isn't there right now, but it will get there, which I'm hopeful for.
Yeah, exactly. I think that because you've connected it to like this greater universe, you've got a lot more to explore, which means you need more time to build up the characters. So I think that they're going in the right direction.
Yeah. But I can understand why people would like Andrew or Toby's Spider-Man better. I mean, it's like you said, it's all about interpretation to whether you like them or not. But speaking of Tom Spider-Man, Spider-Man 3, this is something I want to talk about, and I think before the film comes out, I like every time I do one of these videos, I think I'll bring this up. Is that Spider-Man 3? What do you think about all the rumors? Like, which ones? I'm interested. Which ones do you think are real? Which ones don't you think are real?
It's Spider-Man 3 has just been such a weird like movie, like, but like before like anything's been like revealed or announced. It's such a weird speculation like movie, you know?
Honestly.
There are so many. The amount of rumors that are out there are like insane and are just like feel way too good to be true. Yeah, again, they're coming from really reliable sources. I think the Andrew, Toby, and Tom thing has to be true. The only reason why I'm saying this is because everybody is talking about it, and I don't think that people have been more hyped to see this specific thing happen, that it would be a really dumb decision for Sony and Marvel to just not do it. It'd be a very dumb decision for them to not do it, and I don't think they will make that decision to not do it. So yeah, I think that Tom and Andrew and Toby will reunite. Unite. Yeah.
I mean, it's like at some point at some point they're gonna have to do Spider-Verse. No, it's that's the thing though. Like, but then again, Dane DeHaan came out and he said that he wasn't in the film.
That. Yeah, exactly. I think people are also taking this too far.
100%.
So things have been confirmed, right? The Electro thing's been confirmed. But you know what's weird about it is that Jamie Foxx went and like publicly said, "Oh yeah, I'm playing Electro in the new Spider-Man. I can't wait for this to happen."
Mm-hmm.
He deleted that post.
Yeah.
And then Marvel comes out and says it's not true. But that's the thing. I think they're trying to hide all of their, like, you know, rumors and and confirmations, because they did confirm Alfred Molina as well, but they're also trying to cover that up.
Yeah.
It's a very weird thing. So I think that because Electro and Doctor Octopus are already confirmed, I think people are taking it too far and like posting fake rumors, like, you know, Dane DeHaan's coming back, or you know, they're assuming like because 2 villains from past movies are already back, more are gonna come back, and they're doing this whole big thing. Like, it's just assumptions, and they're just fake.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think with the whole Jamie Foxx and Alfred Molina thing, it's like people have gone, previous Spider-Man villains are coming back from the Tasman Raimi universes. Okay, well then Dane DeHaan's got to be coming back.
Yeah,
Willem
exactly.
Dafoe.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
like
I think it's all. It's a very weird, because you can't distinguish what's real and what's fake. Obviously, we will. I think we'll just have to wait until the movie comes out, honestly, to get the assumptions. But
yeah. No, honestly though, like, I think even the trailers won't give us the full story 100%, because if you remember with Far From Home, the first trailer for Far From Home came out before Endgame, and like we knew that like all those characters were going to be coming back, like in Endgame 100%. Like, they weren't going to kill them off forever. And then the trailer for Far From Home came out, the first one, that like told nothing of what happened in Endgame, and everyone was like, wait, hold on. And then rumors started speculating that this could be a prequel, and that Spider-Man was actually dead. And then it even got people starting to think that this might be a prequel. That was like how deceiving that trailer was. That it even sparked those kind of rumors. So God knows what people are going to think when the first trailer for this movie comes out, because it definitely won't be the final product. 100%.
It's gonna be mad. I can't wait.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think also, because they've like tied it to Doctor Strange and like WandaVision, we're gonna get answers soon. We're gonna get some, like, because WandaVision is airing right now, and by the time that ends, we'll see the connection to Spider-Man 3 and Multiverse of Madness. Because Doctor Strange's been confirmed to be in Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
So we'll see the connection, and I think that's when they'll drop the first footage or first trailer, is after WandaVision ends.
I agree. I genuinely think, I had this theory as well. I thought that I think they'll drop the first trailer for Spider-Man 3 on the same day that the last episode comes out. Like, they'll drop it like the night after, like the Friday night. So Friday morning, WandaVision comes out Friday night. I reckon they'll drop Spider-Man 3 trailer, or sometime the next week, or something like that. Because like it's all interconnected. They confirmed it was all connected together, which is why I kind of believe that maybe we're gonna see Andrew and Toby. We're gonna have all these villains come back from all these other universes. But then again, there's so many of them. It's like, which ones are true, which ones aren't? What about Daredevil? Do you think Daredevil could be in it? Like, that's
I think Kevin Feige did tease Daredevil's gonna come back. Like, he said, it was in the Hulk, She-Hulk show. He was saying that there's gonna be another lawyer or something there. I think he teased Daredevil, and with all the rumors and stuff, I think that it'll be true, because there's very reliable sources saying it is true. So
yeah. I mean, they only just got the rights back to Daredevil from Netflix. Yeah. So, like, the problem would be is that they would have, to have Daredevil be in the film, they would have to have had like contracts already sorted out before the rights got moved back to Marvel, which wouldn't have been possible. And if they have done that, Netflix can sue Marvel. So I don't think they'd risk talking to Charlie Cox maybe like legally about it, because it could get them in serious trouble, which is the part of me which says, okay, maybe it's not true.
It's not true, yeah.
But then there's a part of me that goes, oh, well, they just got the rights back. If it's only a small 10-minute role, they could squeeze him in, and because they're filming for another, like, they're filming for another, like, 3 months at this point, aren't they? Like, they're only halfway through filming, so they've got a good while to go. They could still 100% fit him in there if they needed to.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I don't know. It's like, it's a hit and miss. And then there was the people saying that, you know, Charlie Cox has already done filming. It's like, that's impossible. Like,
yeah. There's no way that you could, like, you know, find that out, but yeah.
Yeah, I know, it's weird, but Spider-Man 3 is going to be a mad film. It's going to be a mad film. But moving on to the last topic, which I think is going to be an interesting one, because I want to hear your thoughts on it. I haven't heard you talk about this, but since you love TASM a lot and you're a big Andrew fan, I just got to ask, what about TASM 2? Okay, I know it's... Yeah. What? Okay, so you love Andrew, you love TASM 1.
Yeah.
What about TASM 2? I got to ask this question. What are your thoughts on it?
I'm making a video on TASM 2 actually.
Oh, are you?
It's gonna release. Yeah. It's gonna be much longer than the TASM 1 video.
That's gonna be good.
I recently had a huge change of my heart coming to TASM 2. I was thinking when I made my TASM 1 video that I'm gonna make a semi-negative video on TASM 2, like saying why it's not as amazing or why it's not that good. I rewatched it, and recently I came to the conclusion that you're 100% going to disagree. It's better than TASM 1.
What? It's better than... Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. Okay.
I'm not saying it's a better movie. It's 100% not a better movie. I'm just saying it has more heart and has more something more to grasp onto, and like it's bigger with execution. It has more like comedy elements. The villains, some of the villains don't work, but some of them do work, and I think that I really need to talk into detail about that. I think the plot lines that people say and how they say that it doesn't really matter to the story or anything. I think every single plot line in TASM 2 relates back to Peter. You have the parents' plotline, which obviously ties to Peter. You have the Gwen plotline, which obviously ties to Peter. The Green Goblin one, the Electro one, the what else? You know, the day in the life with Spider-Man, the Rhino thing. I think the only plot lines that's unnecessary, that I'd say is unnecessary, is that whole Aunt May, you know, plane situation, hospital thing. I think that was unnecessary, but I'm thinking it wasn't intended to be that way. TASM 2 is such a weird movie because they had so many reshoots and had so much going on behind the scenes that what the final product was far from what they intended for it to be. But the thing that they intended for it to be is still there. Like, they still have the deleted scenes. They still have the scenes that never gotten to see the light of day, you know? Yeah, that's my opinions on TASM 2.
Because Mary Jane was actually meant to be in this movie, played by Shailene Woodley.
She was meant to be a big part in it, and
damn,
the audacity Sony had to completely take out a character who was crucial, and then go ahead and add this subplot of like the planes crashing or something. Like, it's a very weird situation, honestly, and I think Mary Jane would have been a great addition to the movie.
Yeah, I think TASM 2 had... I will agree with you that TASM 2 had the potential to be the best Spider-Man movie. Yeah. I think coming off the back of TASM 1, TASM 1 had the potential to be the best Spider-Man movie, in my opinion. I think it did. The ingredients were all there. I would have loved to have seen a 100% pure Mark Webb Spider-Man movie, because Mark Webb is all about character. That's like, he's a character director first and foremost. Like 500 Days of Summer is like, it's character heavy. Exactly. So TASM 2 had this, like, it had Peter and Gwen going for it, which is the main thing I really liked from TASM 1. It had which is what most people like from TASM 1. The Peter and Gwen stuff had that going for it. It had personally, I would have liked to have seen the things that really did TASM 2 in for me, and you can maybe tell me why, like maybe try and like give me a new perspective, right? But the reason why I don't like TASM 2 is, one, Electro, just no. Two, to the Peter's parents storyline. It was good in the first movie because it kind of gave this vulnerability to Peter's character. And this one, I feel like the fact that the reason Peter didn't go on mutant like Harry did, because Richard's blood was in the spiders, I didn't like that, because it was like kind of like the Peter's the chosen one sort of thing. I did not like that at all. And then
I hated that as well.
But apart from that, like everything, I loved that. I think Harry is one of the best parts of that movie. Loads of people don't like him. I think Green Goblin was... I thought Green Goblin was so good. I was like, these are... I mean, okay, maybe because, you know, the movie was stuffed with other things, like he didn't get as much screen time as he probably deserved, but I thought Green Goblin was a really good part of that movie. Harry and Peter's relationship. And the Peter and Gwen stuff was good as well, but that's just why I didn't like it. That's why it's bottom of my list. It was the Peter and Richard stuff. I agree. I agree with the Peter and parent stuff. That really didn't need to happen. I think they were intending for it to, like, you know, you set up this whole mystery in TASM 1, and then within the first 5 minutes of TASM 2, you completely exploit that mystery and just say, oh, well, here's the reason. They died in a plane crash. I think with that deleted scene taken out at the end, where it was like, Peter's dad is alive, it really doesn't work. I think because having him alive doesn't disregard the mystery aspect, like, that got exploited in the first 10 minutes. It adds to that mystery, as in, like, how is, like, it just adds much more. And it's such a weird way to take the movies, as in, like, Peter hasn't seen his dad in so long. He reunites with him at the end of the second movie, and it's like, I think it could have been such a very deep thing to explore. I don't think they did a good job with exploring that. I think the parent stuff was 100% the weakest part of TASM movies, but yeah. But like Electro, I just thought...
Electro, yeah. I adore him.
Do you really?
I think he's the best villain in the TASM series.
Okay.
It's weird because well, first I'll ask, why do you not like him?
Because you see, I just think his motivations are just a bit weak. Like we're given this dude who's obsessed with Spider-Man, and then because obviously, like, he's an outcast quite clearly. But there's so many little things that they could have built upon, like the whole it was his birthday thing. I think they could have played way more off that to be like a driving force for him. Something that they didn't capitalize on was that it was his birthday. It was like a quick throwaway line. They could have been like, oh, it's his birthday and he's got no family, and his family don't come to visit him, and maybe his family are out on holiday somewhere else doing something, and he could be really sad about that. I would have been like, oh, Max, man, nah, that's not good. Like, but they don't do that. It's just like a quick throwaway, and then the Times Square scene, just don't get me.
There was actually a deleted scene of his mum.
Oh, of course, Sony. Of course, there was a deleted scene of it. Of course there was. His mum's who's sick and who's dying basically in her bed, I think is a good parallel, first of all, to Norman Osborn. But it shows like the poor weak side, and then the rich, stronger side of things, which is Harry, and then them looking down on people like Max. I think that would have been such a great parallel to, and theme to explore. If they had that scene, it would made his character like really great. It was the scene where he was like,
he pulled out a cake and it had like electricity and stuff, and he was like, today is gonna be amazing, and then the power goes off in his place.
Mm-hmm.
That's when his mom like is there and like shouting at him, and like, you know, his mom doesn't like him as well. That would have been such a great, you know, scene to add instead of, you know, all the other countless things that they added in. But yeah, I think Electro's motivation actually makes sense and is well explored, but I think people didn't really grasp onto it as well as the movie thought they would. He even Electro, like, the main criticisms is like, well, why did Electro, you know, just randomly have this hatred for Spider-Man? Why did he go about doing this like horrible thing just because he forgot his name? Like something stupid like that. People missed the part where Electro said to Spider-Man, because of this electricity fueling up, this energy that's fueling into him, he's got so much anger and hatred for no apparent reason whatsoever. I think Max is a very innocent person who wouldn't do harm to anyone, and I think Electro is the opposite of that, who would show all of what Max is feeling and, you know, like exploit that in terms of like anger and hatred and just like, you know, trying to destroy, you know, trying to be like more powerful and have the world look at him instead of the opposite way around, the world looking down on him. Yeah, that's why I love Electro so much.
And so he's like an hidden ego, Electro. And
yeah,
Max.
yeah, hidden ego. Yeah. I think that was what was happening with Connors, was like the Lizard whole is his alternate, you know, I'd say is a different person to Connors but wants the same outcome, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's exactly the Electro situation, except in my opinion the Electro one is done much better than what was happening with Lizard. But yeah, that's my opinion.
Yeah. No, I can kind of see where they wanted to do that with Electro's character. Like, I feel as if they wanted to go with the whole... Personally, how I saw Electro's character was like, he had all this anger built up in him because he was treated badly. Because we had that scene where he like grabs BJ Novak by the shirt and like him. Oh, what's his name? What's his character's name in the movie? God, I forgot. Smythe, that's it. Alistair Smythe, yeah. So he grabs Smythe by the collar and he's like, I'm gonna rip your damn head off or whatever, and like and it's like he's like got this anger build up inside him, so when he becomes Electro and he finally has power, he's like, oh, notice me, and then he still doesn't get noticed, so then he's annoyed. So I get it, but I think it just wasn't executed that well, because I thought we could have maybe connected and spent more time with Max's character and was shown how that anger built up. So for example, the whole Alistair, you know, not including him with the rest of them, you know, kind of making him this quote unquote outcast, I think was a good scene for that, to set that up. But I think maybe, like I said, with maybe you know, Norm being there on his birthday, that could have been a good scene to explore. But this movie had so much going on, it didn't really have time to stop and show us more of that, which is kind of sad, because they could have really made his character really good. But then when we got to that Times Square scene, it just didn't really you know, land with me personally. But it just that's the reason why
it worked. For me, it worked because, you know, you have Spider-Man trying to connect with his villains. I think that's such a great, you know, that's basically what Spider-Man's always been about, you know, talking instead of action, right? Trying to empathize with your villains. It's not even a villain, it's just a person who's been looked down on and who's been spat on his whole life, and who hasn't had this uprising, which, you know, is basically Peter, right? Is basically Harry, is basically, you know, because Harry's been looked down on by his dad, right? But and Harry's had a lot taken from him. Same with Peter. Peter's had a lot taken on him, has been the you know, outcast, loser person. Same with Electro. I think that the themes were there, and what they wanted to explore was there. I think they should have just done a little bit more, to, for the execution to be better, basically.
Yeah, to kind of land it more. Just trying to. Yeah, I get that. I can see where they were going, but for me, Electro I don't know, it didn't land for me at all. But I can see what they were going with. Like, okay, so what about like maybe the more positive things about the movie? Peter and Gwen, like, was that?
Yeah, Peter and Gwen was. I think it's the best that they've ever been, and I think it's Mark Webb's 100%. If without the Peter and Gwen stuff, TASM 2 wouldn't have been better than TASM 1, or like it wouldn't have even been in my top 5 Spider-Man movies. I think the Peter and Gwen stuff really, really impact the movie on such a positive note, because 500 Days is my favorite movie of all time. I think Mark Webb's strong point is relationships and what they can do and how they can impact people in different ways. I think showing the relationship problems, but not in this like Hollywoodized way where it's like you know what I mean. It's way more intimate than it should have been in a movie where there's a blue guy shooting lightning from his hands.
Yeah.
I think it's just done so incredibly well, and it's so much more intimate that if you take that stuff out, it feels like a movie, and not a comic book movie. It's just done phenomenally.
Yeah. So you're saying like you wouldn't, like, if you saw a trailer for a Spider-Man movie, you wouldn't expect it to have that level of relationship intimacy.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is something I really hope with Spider-Man movies going forward, with Holland or eventually a recast, whoever, they do that intimacy. They bring in that element of vulnerability.
I really hope they explore that more with Tom, because it's weird. I don't have that connection with Zindi and Tom. I really hope that they explore that more.
I agree. Me neither. I think Peter and Gwen are probably the most authentic character relationship.
Yeah.
Like they're just, I don't know, it's easy to really feel in that, like when you're watching it, you're like, okay, these two love each other. You know what I mean? It's like you can tell they care about each other, and it's a big part of that is obviously down to Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone as well, and their incredible acting. But once again, the characters are written so well. There's so many intimate moments. There's so many slow moments. Like the one I like to pick from when I think of it is when Peter gets cut up by the lizard so badly, and then it's before they go on the swing, and Peter's sitting in the chair, and then Gwen's like cleaning him up, whatever, and then Peter's and Peter's like, oh, we should be together, and Gwen's like, no, because you'll be like, she compares it to her dad. She's like, my dad goes out every day with a badge on his chest, and like, I don't know if he's gonna come home. And she's like saying that about Peter as well. It's like, damn, she cares about him. We need these moments.
It's the friendship that really works well.
Yeah, if they do the friendship before they do the relationship.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That, I think, that is just the best way to exploit that. That's just the best way to, come across it.
Yeah, they show us why they're friends.
So much. Yeah, exactly. Also with the Mark's incredible direction with them scenes in particular are just like are executed so well, and it's just, I love it so much.
Yeah, I think it's really good. I really like the Peter and Gwen stuff, which is comparing it to the MCU is like, I mean, Zendaya was there, but like we didn't really see why she was friends with Peter. Like, doesn't Peter even question? She's like, "Why'd you hang out with us?" It's like, it's like,
exactly.
Come on. But yeah, so I'm excited for your TASM 2 video. That's gonna be interesting. But yeah, guys, if you have not already, I didn't say this at the start of the video. I apologize. I'll put it up on the screen or something. But go down in the description below. All the links will be down there to the TASM video essay, to Twitter links, YouTube links. I'll link it all in the description down below, so you can go check out his stuff. You make really good video essays, man. I really enjoy them.
Thank you so much.
But yeah, any final thoughts on anything you'd like to say? Any like anything about your films? Anything about any Spider-Man stuff?
Honestly, no, not really. Yeah, that's everything. That sums up everything perfectly.
All right, well, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Check out all the links in the description below, and yeah, thanks for being on, man, today. Thanks for having me.
So yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit.